Hello and welcome to the most peaceful place where the fruiting plants and animals roam free. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of them as they make this piece of haven very enjoyable for all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming to Peaceful Village. Good day, everybody. This is Michael Anfield from Peaceful Village Raw Vegan Healing Community in the place called Ecuador and at peaceful-village.com. So today I want to talk about an important aspect of the book, The New Mother Earth, about perversion and the feminine energy. This is very, very, very crucial because over time, humanity, especially men, have become more and more and more perverted. I do believe that we were very, very sacred beings, seeing the sacredness and the beauty in every living being. And then as time went on, we just started, for some reason, to see more perversion. Now some people might think, no, we were more perverted back then and having orgies and doing these kinds of things, and it could be that there was the ruling elite or maybe the high class people who had these kinds of perversions, and who knows what they did behind closed doors or even in the public. But we don't really know truly what happened. The stories say something, but we really don't know because we were not there. But what we do know nowadays is there's a lot of perversion going on when it comes to men, and especially men and children, men and teenagers, having sex with them and putting them into these beauty pageants and so forth, and dressing them up like grown women with a lot of makeup and so forth. So we've become very perverted in our way of thinking and our way of acting. We are perverted because we see, especially in dairy production, we see female cows as, hey, we're still acting as infants, still sucking on the teat of the cow, and we can't grow up, so we want to see little women, and we want to see bigger women, little girls and bigger women, shaved. Even us, for example, men nowadays are shaving their armpits and genitals. I mean, I did it from time to time. Not very frequently, but I did it. And I noticed that, hey, why do that? What's the point of doing that? Because we're conforming to something that is perverted. Everything that takes us away from the spirit is ultimately, especially when it comes to sex, ultimately perversion at its finest. We are trying to mimic little girls. Even in the pornography industry, they like to cut I don't know what they call them, the vulva or the flaps of the vagina. They like to cut that. They like to make a surgery to cut that, to make it look like they're little girls. And then they shave, and then they do all these kinds of things to make them look like little girls, ultimately. Now, one thing, of course, that's the kind of the opposite of that, is getting breast implants, right? Because little girls don't have large breasts. In fact, many girls that I see nowadays are getting more mature, they're becoming bigger. They're getting bigger breasts because of what they're eating, especially when it comes to milk and other dairy products, cheese and so forth. So these things are what is happening, what I'm talking about, that is part of society, right? And what I'm explaining in part in my book, The New Mother Earth. So, the New Mother Earth is all about honoring the sacred feminine within us, within all beings of this earth, all beings, including the earth and nature herself, Gaia. Gaia is a Greek word that ultimately just means earth, but it's kind of her name, I guess, Gaia, you can say, but ultimately I think just means, if I'm not mistaken, means earth. So we are here on this beautiful earth, yes indeed, and now we're starting to see perversion, and there's perversion even in the non-human animal kingdom, having sex with them, abusing them physically and so forth. And the reason is because precisely that's what's happening in animal agriculture. That's replicating. When we replicate animal agriculture, when we partake in animal agriculture, when there is a system in place that dominates other living beings, we're doing the same things in society, within humanity. For example, in animal agriculture, there's a lot of sexual and physical abuse. And in society, we notice within humanity that there is a lot of sexual and physical abuse, especially when it comes to female animals and their reproductive organs. So that is what I'm addressing here, is that there is similarities between animal agriculture and what's happening in society. Now, it may not be exactly the same, but very similar situations happen within humanity, within society. So when we remove the equation, or when we remove animal agriculture completely, we start to witness the diminish, or the sexual perversion diminishes, the sexual abuse diminishes. We will start to see slowly, even society slowly just dissolving. Because when we start to love all the beings of this earth, then we understand, we start to love ourselves more and more, and then we start to see that, hey, when I start to love myself more and more, I don't want to buy into all this vanity stuff that fashion and modeling industry and that society dictates on me. Who cares if I wear tattered clothing or a little bit moldy clothing, as long as I'm clean and I don't smell awful. That's the key. The key is really just to be clean. and do not smell, so that people are not bothered by my awful odor. But ultimately, it's about what is inside me. When we start to shine inside, we start to shine outside. There can be such a attractive person on the outside, but if they're not attractive on the inside, not doing the work on the inside, and if they have a lot of low self-esteem and conforming to society's beauty standards and all this kind of thing, that's going to affect their true natural beauty, outer and inner beauty. And some reason this happens only in our species when it comes to women, especially when it comes to women. No other species are like that. In fact, the males of the species usually are the ones that are the brightly colored ones and that are dancing and attracting the female in order to court them, in order to have sex with them, to procreate. And they use that just for procreation. And it's usually not very frequently either. Now, when it comes to certain species, of course, like some insects and so forth, yes, they procreate very frequently. But when it comes to mammals, not as frequently. Probably once or twice yearly, if that. We're not meant to procreate or to have sex even very frequently.